tail wags as Warwickshire hit back in evening session. An unbeaten 92 from Sam Hayne helped Warwickshire give leaders Somerset a bit of a scare last time out, but they still fell to their third defeat of the season and propped up Division 1 amid concerns with their batting. Champions Surrey were frustrated by Kent on the final day at Beckenham, meaning they've drawn all three of their games this season, and both sides were desperately seeking a win to kickstart their campaign. Warwickshire made a quiet start at Edgbaston after being asked to bat by champion Surrey, but Rhodes was able to get going with a couple of early boundaries off Morkel. Warwickshire's promotion campaign of last season was largely built on the foundations laid by Sibley and Rhodes at the top of the order, and they dug in to bring up the 50 partnership after 20 overs of play in the morning. But with the interval approaching, Surrey were able to make the breakthrough as Batty trapped Sibley LBW for 17. And he struck again in his next over to really spoil Warwickshire's morning as he snared Rhodes in the same fashion to leave the hosts 63 for 2 at lunch. Rob Yates began quickly after lunch as he picked up a boundary off Batty, and a few overs later sent Morkel to the rope off consecutive balls. But Morkel had the last laugh as he trapped Yates LBW for 20. Hose and Hayne looked to rebuild the innings as Hose scored 2 early boundaries off a done over, and Hayne got in on the act with back-to-back fours of his own off Clark as Warwickshire reached tea on 149 for 3. Scoring proved difficult after the tea break, but Hayne was still able to score fours off both Dunn and Morkel. But Hayne fell inside of his 50 as he played around a straight one and was pinned by Dunn LBW to end a stand of 72. And Banks was also gone soon after for just 1 as he was bowled by Ryan Patel. Before Hose was on his way, bowled by Dunn in the very next over as Surrey took a firm grip of the game. And Warwickshire were really struggling when Dunn claimed another in his next over, with Ambrose pinned LBW. Jeetan Patel counter-attacked with back-to-back fours off Dunn before he became his namesake's second wicket of the day, with Clark taking the catch. Brooks and Norwell decided attack was the best form of defence, as Norwell picked up fours from consecutive balls from Clark, before Brooks flayed Elgar for 2 maximums in an over. And Norwell clatted 4 boundaries from a Morkel over as the tail really wagged for Warwickshire. Before Norwell sped past 50 at quicker than a runner ball with another 3 boundaries from Morkel's next over. Stumps arrived with Norwell and Brooks having added an unbroken 89, a brilliant fight back from the tail, to leave Warwickshire 275 for 8 at the close of play, and honours largely even. Wickets galore as Warwickshire take command. It was an even contest in the first day of play in Birmingham. The morning saw the wickets tumble for the hosts, but an excellent lower order rally from Norwell left the game in the balance at 275 for 8. Play didn't commence at Edgbaston until 11:50, with intermittent rain and dark clouds overhead. When play did start, it was anything but dreary. Norwell smacked Morkel for 6. But the big South African claimed revenge just 2 balls later, clean bowling Norwell, ending a brilliant knock and a 95-run 9th wicket partnership. And within half an hour, the host's first innings was over. Morkel picking up Hannon Dorby's wicket, leaving Warwickshire 7 shy of another batting point, all out for 293. Impressive scoring from tail-enders Norwell and Henry Brooks, who made 105 of Warwickshire's runs in that 9th wicket stand. Rory Burns came out firing after the innings break, scoring 2 boundaries off the first over of Surrey's knock. But the visitors' momentum was to be stunted in the very next over, when Stoneman was sent back to the pavilion for a duck. Immediate rebuilding was necessary, and steady play from Burns and Borthwick ended a good morning for Surrey, having skittled out their opponents quickly and settled to 39 for 1 at the lunch break. The level-headed Surrey approach continued after the interval, with careful play from Borthwick and Burns. The pair pounced on bad balls when they came, and a loose over from Patel saw 2 clinical boundaries from Rory Burns. But the opener's measured day wasn't to last. He played at one he didn't have to and nudged a dolly to Rob Yates at point, a frustrating end to an otherwise excellent 40. Burns' wicket initiated a period of bowling superiority in the afternoon session, with just one boundary coming in 12 overs. And that domination finally paid off for Warwickshire, with an incredible 4 wickets coming inside just 10 balls. First, the dangerous Borthwick was trapped LBW for 40. Then Elgar was caught by Banks off a Patel delivery, scoring just 4 runs in a 58-minute innings. And 2 balls later, Patel got his namesake out for a duck, caught by Sibley. Patel then got his 3rd wicket in 5 balls as he sent Jacks packing for a golden duck, and Surrey had collapsed to 92 for 6. It wasn't all doom and gloom for Surrey fans in the afternoon session, however, as Clark teed off in a Norwell over to score 3 boundaries, a maximum sandwich between 2 fours. Folkes got in on the act too, picking up a boundary against Brooks. But no amount of quick hits could hide how disastrous the afternoon session had been for Surrey. They headed into the tea break at 128 for 6 and teetering on collapse. Surrey needed a steady start to the evening session, and Folkes and Clark began well, picking up boundaries sporadically. The partnership was becoming an important one for Surrey, and the pair moved beyond 50 together. But it couldn't last. Ricky Clark, too hesitant to take a run, and a precise throw from point fielder Sibley ended the batsman's innings for 28. And 6 balls later, Morkel was gone, bowled by Patel, having contributed just 1 run. Surrey were now 151 for 8, only just halfway to Warwickshire's first innings total. The new partnership of Batty and Folkes accumulated slow runs, playing cautiously after the second collapse of Surrey's day, and the England man got his 50 off 81 balls, nudging Jeetan Patel for a single, and becoming the first batsman in Surrey's innings to convert a good start. He and his partner were motoring well before Brooks trapped Batty LBW for 13, the departing bat furious with the decision. But there were no complaints just 1 ball later. Dunn's LBW was plumb, and Surrey were all out for 188. After a delayed start, Warwickshire came back out for 12 overs to end the day, looking to extend their 105-run lead. Sibley and Rhodes started well, picking up a 4 each. That meant the end of play, and a day certainly won by the hosts at Edgbaston. Rain ruins Warwickshire's hopes of setting up victory push. Bottom club Warwickshire took charge of their game against champion Surrey on day 2 as captain Jeetan Patel bowled unchanged to take 4 for 53 to help bowl out the visitors for 188 and secure a lead of 131 with all 10 second innings wickets remaining. Rhodes and Sibley looked to be settling into their work on day 3 as both helped themselves to early 4s. But Batty made sure Surrey made a strong start to the day when he deceived Sibley to trap him LBW. And run scoring was proving difficult for the Warwickshire batsmen before the veteran spinner struck again to remove Yates in the same fashion. Sam Hain responded by clubbing Batty for 4, but other than that it was slow going as the batsman dug in. Before the umpires decided to take an early lunch not long after 12:30 due to rain, with Warwickshire 76 for 2 and leading by 181. But unfortunately that was that as the rain set in for the rest of the day and stumps was called not long after 5 o'clock. Warwickshire will hope they can return on day 4 and push for a much needed victory. Batty takes a hat-trick, but Patel matches his 8-wicket haul as Warwickshire claim win. Warwickshire had looked to have batted themselves into a potentially match-winning position in the game as they led by 181 with 8 wickets in hand before lunch on day 3. But unfortunately from that point the rain set in for the rest of the day, perhaps scuppering Warwickshire's hopes of bouncing back from 3 straight defeats so far this season with a win against the champions. Rhodes and Hain settled in quickly on the 4th morning as both batsmen found the boundary at regular intervals. And Rhodes brought up his 50 as the lead moved beyond 200. But the opener was gone when he picked out Burns at extra cover off Batty. Hain looked to carry on regardless, but Hose was in and out when Batty struck again to have him caught by Borthwick, the Surrey veteran having claimed all 4 wickets to fall so far. Banks hit a couple of early boundaries before he too was gone as he found the hands of Burns off Dunn. And in the following over the key man fell as Batty completed a superb 5-wicket haul when Hain chipped one up to Burns. and Warwickshire were in danger of collapsing and giving the champions a makeable chase as Ambrose gave Batty his 6th scalp when Burns took yet another catch. Before Batty made it 2 in 2 as Jeetan Patel picked out Borthwick at long on. Brooks tried to heave away the hat-trick ball but only succeeded in sending it down Borthwick's throat to provoke ecstatic celebrations from Batty as he claimed a hat-trick to top off his 8 for 64 and give him the best figures of his long career. Warwickshire responded to that hat-trick by declaring 9 down and setting Surrey 272 to claim their first win of the season. And the champions got off to a bit of a flyer as Rory Burns found the boundary twice from the opening over of the chase, before he backed it up with another 4 off the next over bowled by Patel. But Warwickshire made the breakthrough on the stroke of lunch when Patel pinned Stoneman LBW. Borthwick and Burns both helped themselves to 4s from the last over of the session to leave Surrey 39 for 1, needing a further 233 to win. It was clear after watching Batty pick up 6 wickets in the morning session that Jeetan Patel would likely be the key for Warwickshire, and he made the breakthrough early in the afternoon as he rearranged Borthwick's stumps. And he was at it again soon after when Folkes was caught at short fine leg to reduce Surrey to 50 for 3. The batsmen looked to recover for a period and the run rate slowed to a trickle, but Burns released the shackles with 2 boundaries off a Brooks over. But the young paceman got his revenge in his next as he trapped the England opener LBW. And with the run rate once again drying up, Patel produced a beauty to bowl Elgar all ends up. Will Jacks had resisted for over 60 balls, but Patel proved to be too good for him, trapping him LBW to complete his 5-wicket haul. And he was back at it just 3 balls later as Warwickshire took a firm grip of the contest as he removed Newman Patel in the same fashion. Ricky Clark held on to reach T, but Surrey looked unlikely to survive for another 35 overs, with just 3 wickets remaining. Clark and Morkel dug in to good effect after the tea break with only the occasional shot in anger from Clark. The big South African was doing his job superbly in scoring 1 from 46 balls, before he was trapped LBW to become Patel's 7th victim. And Patel soon matched Batty's 8-wicket haul by having the man himself caught at short leg by Hayne. Ricky Clark wasn't going to die wondering, clattering a 6 off Hannon Dorby, before moving to 50 after 3 consecutive boundaries from the bowler's next over. Patel decided not to pursue a 9th wicket of the innings as he took himself out of the attack soon after, and the change paid off immediately as Brooks wrapped up the win within 4 balls as he bowled Dunn for a 22-ball duck. The hosts claiming their first win of the season by 130 runs and picking up 21 points in the process, while the champions will have to keep looking for their first victory and must make do with just 3.